used to be a boy and now I'm a girl. I would say that I have a girl brain and a boy body, and I think like a girl, but I just have a boy body, and it's different than you.
Is it okay to be different?
Yes.
Do you like it? Because why?
It's okay to be different. It's okay to be different because it just matters who you are. It doesn't matter if you're different than anybody else. It just matters if you're having a good time and you like who you are.
It says, after 8 seasons, 4 sex change surgeries, quote unquote, and countless hormone treatments, TLC's I Am Jazz star Jazz Jennings still doesn't feel right. I don't feel like me ever, Jennings revealed in a recent episode. Jazz Jennings, who was born a boy and declared himself transgender at the age of 5, confessed feelings of dissatisfaction to his mother, Jeanette. I just want to feel like myself. All I want to be is happy and feel like me. I don't feel like me ever.
The experts say that for these children, the sooner they begin the transition, the better.
What are you wearing?
In Jazz's case, that happened at an extraordinarily young age. And what struck you about Jazz?
First of all, an extraordinary spirit.
You're already ready for bed. Look at you.
When Dr. Volker first saw Jazz, she was just 3.
We use pictures and anatomical dolls. Jazz looked at the penis and scrotum, looked at the vagina, and said, when I'm 6th, the good fairy is going to bring me a vagina.
With her, I'm worried about like her mental well-being and her dilation. The minute she leaves my house, we have a dilation problem.
That is a concern. When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns.
I have woken Jazz out of a dead sleep and taken the dilator and put the lubrication on it and said, here, you take this and you put it in your vagina. If not, I will. But Jazz is bad, even when I'm home once a day. I would be so mad if she goes away to college and that thing seals up. I would wring her neck. Can you imagine?
Many times people have infections. It becomes, sores and stuff on it. And then if you don't put something in it and pump it up to keep it spread open, it begins to contract and begins to reheal.
Jazz has had a very difficult surgical course. She had a very incredible first surgery. It went seemingly very well, but there were problems. And that prompted a second surgery, which I was not a part of, unfortunately. Yeah, this has been a real journey, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. We knew it would be tough. It turned out tougher than any of us imagined.
Taking Jazz on as a patient for surgery, we knew it was going to be a one-of-a-kind surgery. She's one of the first to have undergone complete pubertal suppression and lack of growth of the skin and other tissues, which we rely on as surgeons to do this operation. And we don't have the experience of having said we've done 50 of these. I was just not expecting her to have a complication as severe as what she did have.
Are you feeling like you wanted to start talking about... Are you okay?
I'm okay.
I'm like I'm gonna cry.
But you know I can't get out of my head.
I know. No, listen.
It just doesn't stop.
It's okay. Give me a hug. It's okay. I know what you're going through. We've been there before.
No, it still doesn't stop now. And I'm already going back to negative.
But the more you're talking about yourself, it gets harder. Mm-hmm. You're digging in and it's making you put a magnifying glass on what's already difficult as it is. So this is hard for you. I know. And we don't want to push you
anymore.
anymore.
I know. I'm the one doing it.
I know. You're your own worst enemy.
I feel kind of all over the place and my mind is very cluttered and not clear. And I really want to have that clarity. I really want to understand myself and be able to read my own soul and what I want. And it's just very challenging. And I think I'm kind of breaking down a little bit and spiraling into negativity. I just want to feel like myself. That's
right.
it. I don't care. All I want is to be happy and feel like me. And I don't feel like me ever.
Okay, so that's actually in a really depressing and terrible way. It's a powerful clip because of the words that he uses. I don't feel like myself ever.
Around the world, gender identity disorder is becoming more recognized.
I always knew it. You know, when I was a little kid, I was always wanting pink dresses, Barbie, everything. So, you know, I've never really lived as a boy. I've always wanted to live as a girl, so I really knew exactly who I was.
In Germany last year, 16-year-old Kim Petras, who was born a boy, became the youngest person ever to have sex change surgery.
I got the ruaband because I had so many psychologists in the end who said that from more 2 years would not be good for me to wait for the surgery.
My daughter transitioned when she was 6 years old. Ella did reject typical boy things, and then as she started to get older and she started exploring pronouns, that was when I was like, we have a transgender child.
Means to me is feeling good in your own body.
Luna was assigned male at birth. When Luna was 3 or 4, she started to become adamant that she was female. She would ask when she's going to be a girl.
She thought it was just a phase at first. The first time we went shopping for girls' clothes, it was the best day of my life.
I've had a lot online, awful, horrible, evil comments. How many times do we have to be accused of forcing this on our children? I can't even make her eat broccoli or do a bedroom. How can I force her to change her gender?
My name is Ella and I'm 7 years old and I'm transgender. I realized that I was a girl when I was 4.
She would say, you know, I think I was supposed to be a girl in your tummy. Why did I come out this way? We support our daughter's transition, even though we've had some judgment. A child cannot decide something like that. He is 6 years old. This should be against the law. Shame on you.
I used to be a boy and now I'm a girl. I would say that I have a girl brain and boy body, and I think like a girl, but I just have a boy body.
So Jazz Jennings is one of the earliest and youngest publicly documented people to be transgender when his family had him come out at age 2. But that was almost 20 years ago. Now, I'm sure in Portland and Seattle, parents are probably in some heated competition to beat that track record. Now, Jennings became widely known and researched and talked about, and TLC made a reality show about his life, his family, and publicly documented his medical transition starting at the age of 11. I think that this show has been going on for about 7 years now. I think they started the show at age 14 when he was kind of already on the journey of transitioning, but it's still going. And there's been a ton of controversy about Jennings and about the entire show because Jennings was basically butchered by his doctors. The doctors were performing experimental surgeries that they had never done on children before, right and left, and they were pumping him with drugs. Now, at 22 years old, Jennings is chronically overweight, cannot change this, cannot lose the weight, has had a slew of medical and psychiatric issues, will never be able to have a normal sex life. Like literally, his body cannot orgasm. And in addition to this, is dealing with a literal open wound that they screwed up, which is called the, vaginal graft that they created. Anyway, moving on, Jennings is now 22 and attends Harvard, and this show is still going on, and they are profiting off of this young person's trauma and misery. And in a recent episode, Jennings revealed how hard dating is for him, and that for the first time, he found himself attracted to a woman. And that was really, really confusing. It was very hard, and it kind of turned into this big spiral, and the cameras caught, very conveniently, this emotional exchange between Jennings and his mother, who is also a very, very controversial figure, rightfully so, because no child transitions at age 2 by themselves on their own accord. No child transitions at age 5 when he socially transitioned, or at 11 or 14 by themselves. Like, this mother has been pushing her son into this for 20 years now.